Graders, today we're working with making bar models. So for this, you're going to need pencil, eraser, and your math book. You might want to have a crayon or two also, because we're making bar models today. You know how you're going to make that bar go all the way across. So when you do that, it's going to be a little bit easier maybe if you have a crayon that's wider to work with than a little narrow pencil. All right, lesson 10.4, make bar graphs. How does a bar graph, look at that lovely pH right there, help you compare information? Use cubes to model the problem. Now, we don't have cubes, so you're going to have to kind of imagine that, or you could get your counters and use those if you want to. Color one box for each food item to complete the graph. So here, food sold at the soccer game. So up on this little table is where they're showing you what food was sold at the soccer game. So pizza, I'm going to use my counters, and you can do like I am, or you can just kind of count them. So there's a piece of pizza. There's a piece of pizza. There's a piece of pizza. We have 3 pieces of pizza. So now here it says to color a box. So I have my little marker here. You guys, if you have a crayon, it'll be a little faster to get those 3 boxes colored in better. And you can see, just like we read bar graphs yesterday, when we follow this bar that we made now out to the end and go down, it shows us 3. So I'm going to clear off my pizza counters, and now hot dogs. So there's a hot dog, there's a hot dog, there's another hot dog, and another one, and another one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hot dogs. So I'm going to color 1, 2, and you guys should color them in better than I am. 3, 4, 5. I'm just trying to do this quick for the video. And you can see when you go out to the end of those boxes that we colored in, it takes you down to 5. So now last, tacos. So there's a taco and a taco and a taco and a taco. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tacos. So 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, right? And you know we really would like it to be nice and solid, but I only have markers to show up here, and I'm afraid that they'll really bleed through if I color it too solid. But you can see we color the 4 boxes, and it takes us out to this line that shows us the number 4. All right, next page. Flowers in the garden. Are there more daisies or sunflowers in the garden? Do you see how they titled the graph flower in the garden? And over here on the side, it tells you kinds of flowers, daisies and sunflowers. And down here tells you that what you're looking at down here on the graph is the number of flowers. So we're going to count these now and color in the boxes. So here's daisies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daisies. They've already colored one in for us. 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see that now makes a bar that goes down to 5. Now sunflowers, there are more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And of course, to actually have this be a bar graph, right, we kind of want this bar to go out like this. Nice and solid down here to the end. And then you can see the question here in the purple box, there are more. And you know how to compare these bars and see which one has more. Write that type of flower there in the space. Do more children write with their left hand or right hand? Ask 10 friends which hand they use. Make a bar graph. Well, we have 10 students in our class. So I'm going to go through and tell you who's left-handed and right-handed. So let's start with the kindergartners. Lilia is left-handed, and Sada is left-handed, and those are the girls in kindergarten. Now, right-handed, we have Alex and Joelle and John Mark and Junior. All right, for first graders, Hattie is right-handed, Jocelyn is right-handed, Sawyer is right-handed, John is left-handed, but we don't put it up here, right? We're going back here to the beginning. John is left-handed. So you can see we've made kind of a bar here, and for left-handed, it goes right up to this line here that shows 3. And we've kind of made this bar here for right-handed, and it goes up to this line that shows 7. And you can see this graph has all of its appropriate labels, right? It has a title that tells us about the graph hand we use to write. Over here, it tells us what these are, writing hand. And down here, it tells us what these numbers mean, number of children. Which hand do more children use to write? You can put that down there. Now, do children like bears, blocks, or marbles best? Ask 10 friends which toy they like best. So make a bar graph, write a title and labels for your graph. So boys and girls, think about this right here. What might we put? We might put something like toy we like best. Over here, we could put maybe toy, or if you really want to be fancy, you could put type of toy. And then down here, right, these numbers, we're not counting toys. We're counting children who like those toys. So down here, these numbers mean number of children. Now, I did an informal survey. So I asked some people, and we had 3 people say they liked bears best. 4 people said they liked blocks best, and 3 people said they liked marbles best. So you guys can go ahead and build your bar graph for those numbers. Now, which toy did the most children choose? You guys can circle the one that is there. How many children chose blocks? You can put that number here. And now look at number 5. How are picture graphs and bar graphs alike? Now, there's more than one way that they're alike, but I want you to come up with at least one way that you can write down here. Remember, in a bar graph, we're actually drawing a solid line out to show that number. With a pictograph, you're going to be drawing a picture in there. So you might be drawing a person because this represents numbers of people. On the other page with the flowers, you might have drawn a little flower in each box. So that's a pictograph where they draw pictures in here. Bar graphs put these bars, that's how they're different. You figure out how they're alike. All right, last page is a mid-chapter checkpoint. So not a performance assessment, but instead, this is kind of like the little mini test in the middle for us to know that we're doing this. Use the bar graph to answer the question. Do you see the title, How We Get to School? Right here shows you what these items are, ways to get to school, and down here, number of children. So you can read the bar graph. How many children take the bus to school? Well, you know how to read that bar graph and know how many and write the number right here. Here's a picture graph you can use to answer the question, do you wear glasses? Yes or no? Each circle stands for one child. How many children do not wear glasses? That's the no's. How many children wear glasses? That's the yes. Test prep. How many fewer children answered yes than no about wearing glasses? So remember, if we're talking about how many fewer, we're looking to find the difference between these two. And if we're talking about the difference, we're subtracting. These match up, these match up, these match up. But right here are all these no's that don't have matches. How many is that? How many fewer children answered yes than no about wearing glasses? All right, first graders, that's all your math for this week. Have a lovely weekend.